you. Nice to see everybody. Part of this discussion, for me at least, is really not just a discussion with our mouths. It's a discussion with our bodies and the vision of what we see and think and feel. So you're going to get up on your feet in a minute, and we're going to have a moment where we really kind of interact with one another. So does anybody know who Cynthia Oliver is? Okay. Do you want to say a little bit about Cynthia, just what you know?
She's she's an amazing artist, and just holds it holds a beautiful light that surrounds her.
Yay. So, incredible choreographer that has been really at the precipice of what we think of the notion of avant-garde theater and dance. She's worked with incredible amounts of people. David Gordon, Pickup Company, Ron Brown, Evidence, B.B. Miller. She's working right now with Terry O'Connor, with Sister, and Bleed. She also worked under, I would say, one of the most important directors and writers of our time, Lori Carlos, on White Chocolate for My Father, and Vanquished by Voodoo. She also worked with Inazaki Shange, and a work that Lori Carlos directed again, called Photographs of Dancers in Motion. Photographs of Love of Dancers in Motion. So she's done a lot of incredible work, both theatrical and dance, and whatever that means that they're separated, because they really aren't, and that sensibility of it, you know. And so this work, boom, is really about like the power of the onomatopoeia. It's the notion of looking at how we contextualize the ideas of our reality and sensibility, the proximity of our relationships with each other, and how polished we are about ourselves, but how underneath that polished space is this landscape, a terrain, a topography of energies that aren't necessarily very linear. So a part of ourselves that you can't necessarily say, oh yeah, that's me, I'm all these things. Oh, but someone else may perceive you as something else. So the notion of what that really means about a polished sensibility and all this other landscape that becomes a part of that. And so Boom is really about all that space and all that energy and all that kind of subtextual sensibility. So with that in mind, because I know y'all just love to move, and I know I do, so I don't like to chat a lot. But what my idea is, we have a couple of tasks here that I'd like to do. So I'd like you guys to pair off with someone really quickly, someone that you don't know, someone that you came here and you see, like, you got kids over here and other people over there, and, you know, like intermingle for a second. I'm just going to pick a person, and you're just going to look at them eye to eye. Marlise, can you come up for just a second? You're just going to take a moment to look at them eye to eye, and you're going to tell them something that you'd like them to know about you, right? You know, I'm hungry right now. And then she's going to tell you something about her. It might be deeper than that, but, you know, it could be light, deep, whatever.
I wish I had some different shoes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so, and then after that, we'll go to the second iteration, which will be, I'll be passing out some papers, just these little squares. And you can make just a really quick sketch of what you heard them say. The sketch can be something that's non-literal. The sketch can be very abstract, or it can be a stick figure. It can be whatever you want, whatever your response was to what they said, that was. So both people will be working simultaneously, yeah? And then on the back of that paper, you will write what you remember they said. Now, maybe they'll be a little deeper than me saying I'm hungry. You know, maybe they might be like, you know, well, when I came here, I had a headache, but now I'm really feeling better. I got a chance to breathe deeply, and although I've been having some issues with some sinus problems, you know, it could be like that, okay? But you don't want to be too long, okay? And then you can, so after the first iteration, which is the conversation, the second iteration is going to be the drawing. The third iteration is going to be the words on paper. Yeah, and then we're going to exchange that information, and then we'll kind of chat about how the other person saw you. You know, so that's why I don't want you to necessarily go with somebody that kind of knows you. Yeah. So can we do that in about, let's say, 15 minutes? Yep, great. Let's do it. So stand up, put your stuff aside, walk around, find somebody, pair off. Yay. Come on, guys, stand up. You're a part of it. Let's go. Do you want find somebody else over there at the bar? You can go and find someone at the bar or around. So I'm going to give you the clock, and I'm going to start it in about 2 minutes once I see everybody's kind of gotten to sorry.
Je n'ai pas suivi le sinon tu te souviens de la personne.
La partie, ce qu'elle a dit.
I'm here, I'm very
I have a month for the dance choreography. Yeah. Okay.
My French is really awesome. It's like a little, it's like really, you know, I make a lot of mistakes sometimes. So, okay. You know what, you oh, I don't judge, I'm just a teacher. Thank you. You can start. Oh, I don't have a pen. I left it in my purse. Okay, you can start. Let me get my pen.
Make sure you get the pins on
whatever you say. Whatever I say, invite us. Hi. How are you? So, yeah. You want to go first? You can tell me something interesting about you. Tell me something. Huh? You know what? How about you say it in French, and then you say it in English, and then I'll say it in French, and then I'll say it in English. Okay, this is great practice. So I'm going to tell you something, and then you're going to write it down, and then on the back you're going to draw a picture.
Alors là, vous écrivez ce que la personne vous a dit, et derrière, vous faites un dessin, par exemple, qui représente cette personne.
Okay, good. Whatever you want.
So, okay.
Repeat, I'm sorry. Okay, in English. 35.
And the impression that just moving the flag to more and more freezing.
Okay. Okay.
Positive sense.
That's awesome.
No countdown, tu peux faire 5, 4, 3, 2.
No, okay, so, j'ai 21 ans.
I go. Can I get your attention for a quick second? I go. I go. Ahmed. When I say I go, you say Ahmed. I go. I go. Oh, call and response. I love it. So listen, someone just asked me, so I just want to be clear because some other people are walking in the door and I'm asking them to kind of like mingle and mix and so forth. So after you've already verbally shared a part of yourself with the other person with you, the second iteration is the abstract drawing of what you remember they said about themselves. And they're going to do the same with you. So they're going to just draw a little quick abstract drawing. It could be as abstract or it could be literal. It could be their face, it could be their ears, their earring, whatever it is that you felt that was part of what they told you about. And then the last iteration, after you do that, before you exchange papers, you write on the back what they said, what you perceived that they said about themselves. So those are 3 iterations: your verbal iteration, your drawing iteration, and your written information or iteration. Everybody clear with that? Okay. Yeah, abstract drawing, and abstract written. Okay, there you go.
Madame, la troisième c'est quoi? Première on écrit ce qu'on raconte, deuxième on décide, troisième
Oh, je m'appelle Nami. By the way. We did? Okay, je vais t'aider, non? Et tu dois aller à l'école de bientôt, je ne sais pas si je sais plus. À l'université. Demain matin.
Alors,
Pour aller à l'école. Oui.
my foot, mon pied, à base.
What am I not going to have? My English class, English, dance. Je danse à la dance. Classe d'anglais, puis 2 classes de danse. Non, 2 classes d'anglais.
And you can raise your hand when you're finished, just so I can get a kind of read on, as everybody kind of, am I taking too long?
And I'll watch every week now. That's right.
You guys aren't finished? What you heard?
Ah vas-y, va la brancher. Il a fait c'est parfois de moi.
Yeah? That's good. Let's share.
Those are all the things that I got.
So I give it to her at the end, right?
Do I have a question for you?
Okay.
You didn't tell me how old you are. How old are you?
I feel like I'm going to pull it back in a little bit. So can I have everybody's attention again? So I'm going to say I go. I go. I go. I go. I go. Nice. So I see that there are many different speaking languages here this evening, and I apologize for not being able to speak all the different languages. So I appreciate anybody who's taken the time to reiterate in another language what I said. So I'd like you to exchange the paper with the person that you just had a moment with. And I want you to take a look at their drawing of you. I want you to take a look at their notion of their recounting of what you said. And then finally, I'd like some people to share. So, since these two are right in the spotlight, they're going to share. So can you guys, can you ladies, not guys.
I call them guys.
Okay, so ladies, would you share a little bit about what happened between you two once you also shifted each other's information, and how did you feel about it? It's on.
I don't know. What's your name? And what do you do here? No, actually, I should say I just arrived and that's my second night in New York. That's how it started. Yeah.
Okay, just about until what? Just talking to each other that we are both French actually?
I'm not French.
Well, she speaks French, yeah. So, yeah, it was like, maybe we can speak French, it would be easier. We did drawings and actually we had the same idea because we just exchanged some, like you said, banana chips, so now we just arrived and I want to stay. Yeah, we drew.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should I explain?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why
Explain.
not?
She's going to explain a little bit of a drawing. She'll show it to you and then kind of talk about. This is her abstract iteration of who she feels and recounts who her partner is. Yeah. Yeah. See if you can explain it. See.
USA, France, Morocco, and traveling, and here is your hair, like, because you were doing this, touching your hair, and yeah, so I just...
She said, did I?
That's what I
didn't even know that she was doing that. Great.
And that's all, like 3 countries and probably exchange.
Great. Thank you. And you?
Oh, it's kind of, well, we're talking about New York.
I'm sorry, everybody, can we be quiet, please? So we can just hear what other people are saying, just to be a little respectful.
Well, it's kind of a New York City drawing, like in an abstract way. So you can see the river on the board, and so it's your second night here. So you have a lot of number 2, number 2 papers, and the night is the light. And also, this is wavy for your hair, so we kind of
so
the
both?
idea, yeah.
So both of them did a little iteration that had something to do with their hair, but they didn't know that. That's very interesting. Wow. That's it. That's great. Thank you so much. These are really incredible iterations. So very complex, wouldn't you say? Sense of really complexity. Yeah, great. Okay, so we're going to move to 2 other people. So can Louise and Jamil come up? So they're going to talk to you about their experience in this moment.
Okay, so our exchange was very just what it was. We just tried to do the prompt. So the first thing he told me was that he's a dancer. So the little drawing that I made is a little stick figure on the stage with wings, like the entrances, and a spotlight, because I don't know, he's very tall man, so like, I don't know, like the lighting, so that's what I drew. And yeah, and then we had a 4th prompt, and it was to come up with an onomatopoeia.
Yeah. Yes,
An onomatopoeia of like what the person, how we see the person. So the onomatopoeia that I chose was a clap. Very, I mean, I can't do it.
I'll hold it and you can do it.
I can clap. I don't know, like, I feel like as a performer, as a dancer, that's something that you're always surrounded. by. And it's very, like, I'm also a performer, and like, it's very, like, you appreciate the claps. I mean, it's a nice feeling to, like, be clapped to perform. Clap to or play. I don't know, either way. And so yeah, but yeah, the little alliterations, even though it was just one onomatopoeia, I like drew several claps because just one clap is not enough, I guess.
Well, as we were looking for someone, I saw him walking around. I said, "Oh, you need someone." So it's like, "Okay, come on." And I took the task really literal. So he shared with me that he's had a bad haircut, and that's why he's wearing a hat tonight. And so I actually drew what the hair could be looking like underneath. Kind of a mohawkish with spikes in the side. Maybe that's how he wants it to be styled. And the fourth task, I immediately said theater. As a student of theater, something about that you are there and you have a presence. Yes. So. That was it.
Theater. Thank you. Great. So, would someone else like to share before we? Anybody? Anybody? Any other people? Anybody? No? Yeah? In the back? Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, here we go. Come on, don't be shy. Yeah. Great. Make sure you talk kind of loud, if you can, even though this is, kind of for recording, but so that everybody in the back can hear using our diaphragm.
We were talking, and he said that all day he's been taking his students around to see different things in different places, and now he feels very tired. And I drew wide open eyes going lots of places until they got sleepy and had back into their eyes.
Hello. She said that I'm already eat, and she said no, I'm thirsty. That's it. How can I say it? Yeah. I drew a plate, an empty plate, and a glass of water. Simple.
Wow. Anyway, this is an opportunity, I think, for me to, and for you, to first of all get to know people that you haven't necessarily had an opportunity to meet, because we're all going in with people that we know into a performance, with a woman who was really looking at excavating a deeper landscape, and that landscape is not so literal. So, hence the reason why I wanted you to speak with someone and then draw what you felt they were or are or were feeling. And through that abstraction came all this other information that was deeply wedged inside of what you had already heard. Even if the words were just really very basic, like hungry, then, an empty plate can say so many things symbolically. So when we're looking at Cynthia Oliver's work, we're looking at expanding the notion of our realities and how those realities either linearly connect to one another or not. Because as I talked about in the beginning, when we look at ourselves as a polished person, we also have all this other iteration underneath us. That not necessarily is it being iterated. Like, for instance, with this particular group, with these two men right here, not the other said that he was in theater, and the other one knew it from his aura or sensibility. Or from the two women that were here earlier who shared a commonality in the way that they understood each other without even speaking about it. So we're talking about all these different kinds of connections and landscape issues that happen, or not necessarily issues, but situations that happen in and of themselves right as soon as we walk in the door with each other. So it's really important to understand that, and I think that Cynthia Oliver is a master at trying to at opening up the sensibility of undergirding all the information that we don't really want to get to, or even we can't find. Like, where is it? Is it under? Is it over? Is it through? And so those are the aspects that we go into the theater with, the notion of that. So with that being said, I just wanted to say thank you all for coming, and thank you all for participating in this very interdisciplinary kind of situation. Thank you. I think we have another minute or so, do we? So I got one last task. It's an easy one, I think. On the board, you'll see 6 dots. Yeah? And this is really about the final last thing, for me, is our reality, our perception of our reality, our perception of how we see others, our perception of how we see ourselves. So on these 6 dots, yeah, if you have some room on your paper, I'd like you to make, 9 dots. I'd like you to make this 9-dot thing. All right. Now here's the task. You're going to connect all the dots. You're going to connect all the dots without going back and forth on the line. You can go through a line, but you can't go back and forth on the line. Like, you can't start it, come back around, and then go back around to the other part. But you must connect all of the dots. And if you connect them and you feel like you connect them, just raise your hand, let me know, and then bring it up here, and then show, and then we'll talk about it. Okay? So, go. Connecting the dots. So your task is to connect all the dots. You're finished? Can you hold it for a minute, let other people do it?
Ça, c'est les jeux qu'on faisait avant, il fallait dessiner la maison et tout.
Wait a minute, hold it. No, you didn't. This dot. I have to connect all the dots. Okay, you want to show us what you did? So we have somebody. Uh-oh. She said, ooh. Can you guys see? Okay, so we have one person that says that she thinks she's got it. So let's look at her journey on the connecting of the dots. Can you take us through it?
Oh, do I have to talk or just do?
Oh, just go ahead. You can do it. That was good though, right? She got us all the way to the end. What was the part that was left open? But that was okay. That's sweet. Anybody else want to take a blast really quickly? No? Yes? Anybody? Nobody? Come on. Yes! Yes. It's feeling alone up here. Oh, do you want to draw the dots, or should I draw them for you?
You do that.
I don't. Okay. very quiet in the back. I'm scared of him. Don't be afraid, okay? All right. What color? Any color you want. Oh, red. I'm scared. No, you didn't. No, not a boom yet. Not a boom yet. Almost a boom. I'm sorry. Boom, retract. Sorry. But that was close. Okay, but wait, let's talk about it. Can we just talk about it? So can you come forward for a second? So handsome. Come to the front. A selfie. Okay. So what was the first thing that he did? Did everybody see what he did? Can you just step aside, Superman? Superman? Oh, blue and red. And he stepped to Superman thing. So, you got an answer. Go ahead.
Step outside the line.
Come on, Siva. Can you talk about that? What did he do?
So one of the first things he did was to step outside the lines, which I thought was really nice.
Yay!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly
So
right.
stepping outside the box.
And he did, and you're right. No, he didn't. You didn't. It's there. I just saw it. He connected all the dots. He's right. So let's do it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't believe that. Let's do it again. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. He totally did. He totally did. But the emotion. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. She said she did it too. So the whole idea of this is to really understand where we step outside of the box and what that means. So a lot of times we're given a task, and then we think that we can just operate within that task. It's about stepping away from that. So that's the notion and the underlying fundamental moment of Cynthia Oliver's work. I want to thank you all again. Thank you so much.